last year's AFC wildcard game, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Baltimore Ravens.
NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a gain of 13 and a very solid opening play for this offense. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Right back to Dobbins on first. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Ravens at 500, sitting at 5-5. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. Looking deep here for Flowers. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. You talk about this Bengals defense. They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? On 3rd down, Jackson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's DJ Turner who's got it. And the Bengals are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. You pick out the plays that work best for you, and you know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Higgins. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews.
And Andrews going to have a Ravens first down as the tackle made up near the 35. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped him.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2, and it was the Ravens getting the road victory in that one, so now they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Baltimore.
Now Jackson on 2nd down.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
You look at this Baltimore defense.
This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the number 1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now it's 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Here's Burrow. And that's incomplete.
I like his awareness in the pocket there. Nowhere to go with the football. So instead of forcing it to the sideline, he's just going to put this one into the harbor and live to fight another down without getting wet.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Irv Smith Jr., a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now they go play action now. Burrow. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Mixon will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And Chase will go in motion left. Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Mixon trying to punch it in. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 3.
Play action. It's Jackson.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
He's got his running back out of the backfield, and he will have a Ravens 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins to about the 35, 2nd down.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
No surprise to see him running again here. Is something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Throwing is Jackson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Daxton Hill picks it off.
And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay up.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. On third down, Burrow. And he is caught. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
On one, ready?
Running left, it's Mixon. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Chase, the motion man right. On 2nd down, here's Burrow. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown! Jamar Chase, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Bengals continue to pull away here in this first half. McPherson now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he's only going to get this to the 4-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. 2nd down and 3, ball on the 7.
11 MT, 11 MT. 11 MT, Kate. 11 MT, Kate.
Burrow looking to pass. He'll drop this one down to Mixon, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jordan Battle. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go in at the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Irv Smith Jr. as time expires in the first half. And the Bengals will extend their lead on the final play of the half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? Now I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Again, it's Mixon. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 44 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Here we go. Ready?
inside handoff to Mixon. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And they'll run it here. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction.
11, Thomas.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. He's got a man complete. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
And Chase will go in motion left. And they come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Bengals extend their lead yet again. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. They're looking deep here for Flowers. And my goodness, another interception. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Hey, check Mike 6. We own this.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety? coming up and making the big-time play.
Third and 4.
11, 11.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
And on 4th down, Otage, the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Now it's Jackson. High throw, but he makes the catch. And he's going to be brought down right there after the catch at the 34. Jackson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Again, Jackson dancing to his left. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now this is fielded in the end zone, and he's going to be tackled inside his 10-yard line. You may hear a few words from his head coach on that decision. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
Mixon on the toss right. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop.
Let's bring it. 36. 11 MT tape. 11 MT tape.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Now Burrow down around his goal line. He finds his running back, Mixon. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 80 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they can snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 39 yards there, a big one.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
10 more there and another first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
And McPherson on for the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Tucker able to connect on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Mixon will try the right side.
159 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
This 2nd and 4.
11.
Mixing up the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Cincinnati, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.